Today I have for us to do this really cute tree topper. Super quick, super easy, right before Christmas. If you need a little tree topper, super easy, super quick to do. It's all made with half double crochet, really easy. So I'm going to turn the camera around, show you what hook you need and what yarn to use, and we can get going on making this.
So here's our little Christmas tree topper up close. As you can see, we have our opening. Where's our opening? Opening's right here. This is what you would put into the top of your tree. Super easy to make. So let's just put this over here. And I used good old Red Heart Super Saver. This is 100% acrylic yarn. You do not have to use Red Heart Super Saver. You can use any medium 4 worsted weight yarn that you choose. I do recommend a medium 4 yarn for this project. However, you can use any brand yarn that you choose. The color that I used for this project is called Bright Yellow. I would say that you probably wouldn't need more than an ounce of yarn for this project, so we're talking like maybe 50 to 60 yards I'm guessing at. Like I said, no more than about an ounce of yarn. The hook that I used to do this project is an I hook, 5.5 millimeter hook. You're also going to want a pair of scissors, a yarn needle, and because we're working in the round, you're going to want to have a stitch marker on hand as well. So once you have all your supplies together, let's get started. To start the tree topper, we're going to start with a magic ring. However, if the magic ring technique is not something that you like to use or you're unfamiliar with it, you can start with a chain of 3 or 4, and you're going to want to slip stitch into that first chain that you make to form a ring, and you're going to put all of your stitches from your round 1 into that center of that ring. The reason I'm having you start with a slightly larger ring than doing like a chain 2 is because we're going to be working 10 half double crochets into the first round. So you want just a slightly larger ring to get all of those, to get 10 half double crochets in, depending on your tension. I can usually do that with about a chain of 3 and making that into a ring. However, if your tension is a little bit looser, you might want to go with a chain of 4. So it really depends on what you're comfortable with. However, I'm going to be starting with a magic ring. Place your yarn over your first 2 fingers, wrap it around, form an X on the back of your fingers, put your hook underneath the bottom yarn, turn, grab the top yarn, pull it through, twist, grab your working yarn, and chain stitch. Now into the magic ring, or if you're making your chain ring, we're going to place 10 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 9, and 10. Once you have your 10 half double crochets, we're just going to grab that tail and pull it tight. Count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and slip stitch into that first half double crochet that you made. Don't worry if your center loosens up a little bit, because you're going to sew it down. To start round 2, you're going to chain up 1, and we're going to go ahead and place 2 half double crochets right back into that same stitch that you just slip stitched into. So 1 and 2. And if you have a little bit of trouble finding that first stitch Just go ahead and grab your stitch marker and mark it right now before you go any further. Now we're going to place 2 half double crochets into each stitch around. So 1, 2, and the next stitch, 1, 2, and in the next, 1, 2. So keep repeating this all the way around, 2 half double crochets into each stitch, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. I've made it all the way back around. We now have 20 stitches. I'm going to go ahead and take that stitch marker out and slip stitch to that first half double crochet that we made to start round 3. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to put a half double crochet right back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into, and go ahead and mark that as our first stitch. And in our next stitch we're going to place 2 half double crochets. 1 and 2. The next stitch is 1 half double crochet, and then the next stitch 2 half double crochets. Then 1 half double crochet, and then the next stitch 2 half double crochets. And that is the repeat pattern all the way around. Is 1 half double, and then 2 half doubles. Please repeat this pattern all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. I'm at the end of round 3. We now have 30 stitches. We're going to go ahead and take that stitch marker out and slip stitch to that first half double crochet that we made. We're not going to drop the stitch like that though. There we go. To start round 4, we're going to chain up 1, and we're going to place a half double crochet back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into, and 1 into the next stitch. And let's not forget to mark our first stitch. And the next stitch we're going to go ahead and place 2 half double crochets. So the repeat is 1 half double, 1 half double, and 2 half doubles. I'll do that again. 1 half double, 1 half double, and 2 half doubles. So please repeat this all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. I'm at the end of round 4. We now have 40 stitches. Take our stitch marker out and slip stitch to that first half double crochet that we made. To start round 5, this is going to be our last round. I'm going to chain 1 and half double crochet back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into. Marker, stitch, and half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. And in the next stitch we're going to put 2 half double crochets. 1, 2. So that repeat is half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3, and 2 half double crochets in the next. 1, 2. So I'll do that one more time. half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and 3, and 2 half double crochets into the next. 1, 2. So 1 half double, 1 half double, 1 half double, 2 half doubles. Please repeat this all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. I'm at the end of round 5. We now have 50 stitches. We're going to go ahead and pull out, take out our stitch marker and slip stitch to that first half double crochet that we made. Now we're going to go ahead and fasten this off. We don't need to leave a really super long tail here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and weave our ends in. So on our, if you have you did a chain to start with, just kind of pull your tail and pull it down as close as you can, and then just sew closed the circle to try to get that to close as best you can. With your magic ring, you should be able to pull it tight. And then we're just gonna run our needle along in here to sew it closed. I like to run the needle around a few times just to make sure it's going to stay closed. There we go. Run it back and forth. Okay. You can go ahead and snip that off. We're going to weave this end in. Now make another one of these circles exactly the same, but do not fasten this off, and I'll meet back up with you once you have your second circle made. I just finished my second circle. I'm going to go ahead and take that stitch marker out and slip stitch to join. Not going to fasten off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 1, I'm going to grab my second circle, and we're going to put the wrong sides together so that the right sides are facing out. And we're going to put them together like this. So we have right sides are both facing out. And we're going to slip stitch them together in the back loop only. So I'm going to find where that join is. It's right there. And I'm going to find that back loop. Well, actually, technically it would be the front loop on the other side. So let me get out my yarn needle here so I can show you what loops we're going to be working in. So we're going to be doing the back loop on this side and the front loop on this side, and we're just going to slip stitch through these loops and work the two pieces together. You're going to continue all the way around, leaving 10 stitches unworked. So just slip stitch together, just like this. So you're going to be doing this through 40 stitches, leaving 10 stitches unworked. So I will meet back up with you once I've got 40 stitches slip stitched together. Okay, I've slip stitched 40 times, 40 stitches. I have these 10 stitches are unworked. That's going to be the opening. And we're going to go ahead and Just fasten right off. I can weave this in later. Now you could just jump right over to this stitch here and start working the rays, but I prefer to go ahead and fasten off and then reattach the yarn, but it's up to you how you want to work it. So now we're going to work in this first unworked stitch. We're going to go ahead and reattach our yarn with a slip stitch. Chain 1, and we're going to place a half double crochet back into that same stitch we just slip stitched into, and 1 half double crochet into the next 9 stitches. So that's 2, 3, 4, 8, and 9. So at the end of row 1, you're going to have a total of 10 stitches, including that very first stitch that we made. To start row 2, we're going to chain 1 and turn the work. We're going to repeat the exact same thing. We're going to put 1 half double crochet into each stitch all the way across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, and then the last one is 10. To start row 3, we're going to chain 1 and turn the work. Here's where we're going to start doing our decreases to get that point. So we're going to do a half double crochet 2 together. So that's a yarn over, insert into the first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through all the loops on the hook. We're going to half double crochet into the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The last 2 stitches we're going to half double crochet them together. So yarn over the hook, insert into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go into that last stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and draw through all loops on the hook. So now we have 8 stitches. For row 4, we're going to chain 1, turn the work, and we're going to do those decreases again on either end. So yarn over, insert into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through all the loops on the hook, and now we're going to half double crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And half double crochet the last 2 stitches together. And that leaves us with a total of 6 stitches. Let's start row 5, and we're going to do that again. So turn the work. We're going to half double crochet 2 together, and half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and half double crochet the last 2 stitches together. And that brings us down to 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. chain 1, and turn the work for row 6. Now row 6, we're going to just half double crochet 2 together twice. That's once. And that is twice. Now we have 2 stitches left. Chain 1, turn the work, and we're going to half double crochet those 2 stitches together to make them 1. Now we can just go ahead and fasten off. And you'll just have to weave in your ends. That's 1 point done. Now we're going to have to make 4 more points. So let's get our hooks ready to make the next point. So we're just going to turn the work, turn the point to the right. So we're going to join our yarn to that first free loop of the round that we slip stitched the 2 pieces to the front and the back together. Chain 1, and we're going to half double crochet back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into. That's our first stitch. Then we're going to half double crochet into the next 9 stitches, so again we'll have a total of 10 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, and 9. And that should give us a total of 10 stitches again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because of that starting, that first half double crochet that we made. Then we're just going to repeat what we did on the first one. So you're going to do another solid row of half double crochet, then you start your decreases. If you need to, go ahead and back up the video, and you can go back and watch the video to see how you do the decreases. You're going to repeat this 3 more times for a total of 5 rays. Then you just have to weave in your ends and you'll be finished. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rays, and I'll meet back up with you. Okay, all the ends are woven in, and we have all 5 points of the stars done. Pockets here to put it on top of the tree. So if you've liked this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that bell so you won't miss any of my tutorials. Thanks for watching, and happy crocheting! Bye-bye!